Hi guys, Baz here from Hognose UK. I'd just like to introduce you to a couple of new genes that I've been working with for the last 4 or 5 years. There's a gene called the Carnivore and a gene called the Storm, which both I've isolated from a snake I bought quite a few years ago. And without further ado, I'll show you a few Storms, a few Carnivores, and then I've got a egg cutting video which I bred a Carnivore spot nose to a champagne and got some very interesting results. So once you've seen these, then the Carnivore champagne egg cutting will make a lot more sense. So enjoy and stay safe. Hi guys, this is the Carnivore. This is a new gene. Basically we had, I bought a snake a few years ago, and the guy I bought it from said I think there might be another gene in there. Didn't really do anything about it, bred it into spot nose, did a few bits and pieces with it. Sold one to MJ Marwan at MJ's Pythons, and about the same time I hatched the first babies of these, he also hatched them. And basically I rang him to say, have you got any weird babies come out in your clutch? And he said, I was just about to ring you, and he had hatched some of these as well. So it's very similar to the Confusion. The blacks are really dark on it. Unfortunately this girl is shedding, so obviously the black isn't as dark as it could be. They start like quite patterny up the front, quite a lot of Cheerios and circles and that cross over the back, and then down towards the tail nearly all of them have like a stripe. Also underneath the head, they all have a stripe that starts just below the head and runs down about a third of the way down the body. The only ones that you don't get that on is the pastel versions, which we've got one of so far. So I think it's very close to a Confusion stroke acid, but there's enough differences to be, you know, exciting and different. So I'll just show you the other one. There's another one which is a single gene, which is this one. So this one has just shed, so you can see how busy the pattern is on it. We've got the stripy tail again, so it's pretty uniform. I haven't really picked up anything other than the sort of the eye stripe on the head. They've got a lovely iridescence, and they've got quite a dark head stamp. Now I've actually made some scaleless head versions of this, and a few other morphs which I'll show you later. And shortly I'm going to show you a clutch that I've just cut. I've done a cutting video. I bred a Carnivore into a Mojave champagne, and I'll show you the results of that in a minute. I was quite taken aback by how well the pattern has come out onto a champagne. We also, while we were trying to isolate this gene, we also isolated another one, the Storm. So people have commented it looks a bit hurricane-y, so we were trying to find a name that was similar but not the same. This is a Storm. So this is a Firefly Storm. It's quite distinctive with these fingers up the sides, a bit like clown-like, and they've got granity looking markings in all what's left of the alien heads. The blacks are really lovely and dark. You mix this gene to the Carnivore gene and it makes an animal that absolutely pops. I'll show you one of them in a minute. I've made one which I think could be a Super. I'm not certain yet. Again, I've got a long way to go with this animal and this gene. A lot of work to do, but I'll show you a couple more. So this one we did Storm to Storm, so I'm not absolutely certain whether this is a Super version or not, but it's much busier. There's a lot more of the granity markings in the animal. The alien heads are slightly more distinctive on this one, but don't forget the other one's got fire in it as well, and pastel. I believe this is a Super Storm pastel. So those alien heads and the markings up the side of the neck are stunning. Look at that. So this animal just gets better and better and gets more colour on it each time it sheds. So I look forward to seeing how this guy turns out. Guy, yeah, it is a guy. How it turns out, and obviously breed him to a few other storms to see if we can make a distinctive super, or repeat this one. So, and then we got one in the litter, in the clutch, that is all of it. So if I can find him. So this guy is a Carnivore Storm Firefly. So he's got a bit of everything in him. You can see the carnivore gene in him. You can see the storm gene in him. Very, very busy. He's got amazing, the sides of this animal are just awesome. He had a completely white head when he was hatched, but the head is starting to colour up now, and the white's sort of receding towards the back of his head. The one thing that makes this distinctive, and I think it's again because there's pastel in it, does the same with Leopard and Confusion. This guy's got a completely clean belly, so the pastel, maybe the pastel and the fire combined together, have washed out the patterns on the belly completely. Got some amazing looking alien heads on him. I can't wait to get this guy up and breeding and get him into a few females and see what he makes. He's probably the favourite hatchling that I've made so far this year in 2020. I've just put together the original carnivore girl to a carnivore spot nose, so I'm trying to see if there's a super carnivore. At the moment I haven't hit one yet, if there is one, but it's an exciting new gene, and I look forward to working with it. So this is a Carnivore Scaleless head. As you can see, she's a lot more grown on. This was a 2019 animal. You see the scales missing on her head here. Once again, I've got dirty fingernails from gardening, but you know, sorry about that. So this is the scaleless head version. Again, she's got the most amazing head stamp. If she keeps still for me for a second, probably won't. Look at that head. It's amazing. She's not a high expression scaleless head, but obviously, you know, it's fairly easy to see. You don't have to get your magnifying glass out and have a look. And the head stamp's awesome. We found these marks on quite a lot of the carnivore stuff that we've bred. And once again, she's got the stripe on her neck. Oops, come on. I don't like being held upside down. It's not so distinctive, but then the scaleless head in itself acts like an enhancer gene. So you can see the sides and the bits that are not black are so much more brighter than the animal I just showed you. So I'm really excited to get this one up and running. So she's probably just under 1 kilo now. Be another year at least before she's ready to breed. So this is the scaleless head carnivore. Absolutely love this girl, and I'm just going to show you her sister. So this is her sister. As you can see, she's misbehaving for the camera. She's decided she's going to shed. This girl's 1200 grams, so she's a bit closer to ready to breed than her sister. Again, you can see she's not got a huge amount of scaleless on her head, but she is a scaleless animal. And once again, I mentioned earlier that the pastel takes the pattern away on the belly. If we have a look at her belly, she doesn't have the distinctive black line down her neck. Doesn't really have a lot on her belly, to be honest. The belly shoots in the middle are completely white, well, completely clear of colour. But you can see this distinctive carnivore pattern on her back, going down to the obligatory stripe on her tail. So that is a pastel carnivore scaleless head, which is shedding. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up on the camera or not. It's the first time I've used this camera, so I don't really know. But it's got the typical scaleless head, dorsal stripe, really messed up patterns. All the scales all get rotated and twisted out of shape. I quite like that. So that is a scaleless head pastel carnivore. This is another carnivore. This girl is 1900 grams. She's a 2018. As I mentioned, I have been working with this gene for a little while. She's got the distinctive head stamp. It's not the same as the one on the scaleless head, but she's got quite a distinctive head stamp. She's got the lovely messed up patterns and all the Cheerios crossing across her back. with the dorsal stripe going probably about a third of the way down on this one, all the way down to her tail. And this one has got the distinctive neck markings, as you can see. Very busy belly. The rest of it, it's not quite leopardy looking belly, and it's not quite a confusion type belly. But if you actually sit one next to a confusion, they do look quite similar. I'll do that in a minute actually for the camera. And this one's quite lively, as you can see. This girl, I'm actually going to do some genetic stripe. I'm a big fan of genetic stripe, and I think most people immediately go for recessive stuff when they've got a new gene. They go for the pied, and they go for clown. I actually think I'm going to put a genetic stripe Enchi banana into this one, so just to see what that does. I was very impressed with the leopard genetic stripes that Garrick DeMeyer just produced, so I think this will make a nice animal as well. So here's a comparison between the carnivore and the confusion. As you can see, they are fairly similar. There's a bit more blushing around the base on a carnivore, and not so much of this spotting. They have got a few, but not as many. But I think the belly is probably the main difference. The carnivore has got quite a busy belly, as you can see. This one especially, but you can't beat a confusion belly. The confusion's got an absolutely wickedly busy belly. I've not made any confusion pastels yet, so I don't know whether the pastel will wash the belly out on this one. But as you can see, they're not the same. This one's got more markation around the scales. The scales are more distinctive. The blacks on this are a lot darker, and as you saw, the adult one, they actually stay dark and they don't lighten up. So there we have the comparison between the confusion and the carnivore. They're quite a similar looking animal, and I would imagine it's a bit like the acid. They're probably from the same, they've originated in the same way. This is quite a common mark that we see, this one here on the carnivore, and I just love the way some of these patterns just cross over at the back and carry on the other side like a figure of 8. As I keep saying, and probably will carry on saying, it's a very exciting gene, and I've got a lot of work to do with it to find out what happens. I can't wait to show you the champagne carnivores. They're amazing. I'm gonna do a video with those shortly. So this is the comparison: carnivore, confusion. So here's another carnivore. This is a Carnivore Lesser, 100% het clown. As I said, a lot of people go straight in and put their animals into recessive, and I've done that. These are 100% het clown. Again, there's the distinctive Cheerios on the body. The pattern on this one seems to be a lot narrower, and the Lesser has really brightened it up. I love the way this animal's turned out. She's got the distinctive head stamp. I love all this. This pattern's transpired onto the champagnes, which I'll show you shortly. Really quite different from anything the leopard does. And as I haven't bred confusion lessers, I can't really comment on what a confusion lesser looks like. And again, there's another gene that wipes out the belly pattern and the neck pattern. So the lesser has completely washed the belly out on this animal. She's lovely. She is one of my favourites from 2019. She's smashing the food and growing quite quickly. So it'll be interesting to make a carnivore clown in the next couple of years. I actually have a male, which I'm going to show you in a moment, who is a spot-nosed Carnivore Lesser, and he'll be ready to breed by the end of this season. I'll show you him shortly. Typically, as I'm doing a film, half my snakes in the shed have decided they're going to shed. So this is a spot-nosed Carnivore Lesser. So it's like a Bruce Wayne with a jacket on, we call him. He's got the very distinctive head stamp again. Got the lovely patternation, lots of hooks, lots of... he hasn't got so many Cheerios as the girl, and I don't think the pattern has been quite... because she's got no spot nose in her. I think obviously the spot nose has affected the pattern a lot more. The pattern's a lot thicker and a lot more broader. This guy's 100% het clown, so he'll be going to a few of my clown girls later in the year. I've got a nice yellow belly pastel lined up for him and a few other clowns. Have a quick look at his belly. Yeah, see, as you can see, he's shedding, so he's about to shed, and you can see the lesser again has washed out all the belly pattern and the neck pattern. Overall, very pleased with the way this guy has turned out. He's a bit of a stunner, and one of my, again, I'll probably say this about all my snakes, but one of my favourites from 2019. You'd have to excuse the shaky camera here. I wanted to show you the original girl that all the genes came from, but she's actually locked to a carnivore spot nose. As you can see, they're quite well entwined. So she has got that distinctive pattern that keeps coming out. Look how dark those blacks are. They're amazing. She's got the very busy neck. Obviously I can't show you the underneath of her, but hers is really solid and lovely. And then down towards the back end she gets that distinctive dorsal stripe. In fact, so does he. So this is the spot nose carnivore male that's made the champagne clutch. As you can see, he's very stunning looking animal. Got all the Cheerios and the hooks up towards his head. And he's got a very thick black line behind his head underneath. So she's the girl that started it all. The genes have all come out of her basically, and I wasn't 100% convinced the Super Storm was a super, and I've got two distinctive looking different carnivores. So again, I'm not even certain that there may or may not be a super version of those. So here is the proof that I'm trying to prove that out. So they've been locked for about 48 hours now, so hopefully he's done the business. Last snake that I'm going to show you in this video, but by no means least, this is the Carnivore Firefly. So you can see she's a very distinctive looking animal. She's got the stripe running down the tail, she's got the Cheerio, she's got the hooks, she's got a bit of everything. This girl has the Storm gene in it as well, so that kind of complicates things a little bit, makes her more granity looking. Let's have a little look at her neck, and again, because she's Firefly and it's got pastel in it, she doesn't have the distinctive neck marking. As you see, she's quite lively. This is the mum to the two carnivores I showed at the beginning of the video. She laid in the end of January, so these babies are not particularly very old that I showed you earlier. She produced the two carnivores, the Carnivore Firefly Storm and the Firefly Storm as well. So very chuffed with her. I love this animal, and I look forward to doing some other Storm and Carnivore combinations with her. As you can see, look at the patterns in her neck. She's lovely. A lot of people have commented that the Storm and the Carnivore together look quite hurricane-y, but I've never knowingly bought Hurricane, so I just think it's a combination of the Storm and the Carnivore gene together that produces these lovely markings. So there she is, the Carnivore Fly. Carnivore Firefly even. Hi guys, I nearly forgot one other carnivore that I've made. People that know me will know that I'm mad on Blackhead. Blackhead is one of my favourite genes. I make a lot of Blackhead stuff. Working on lots of new Blackhead stuff, and this is one of them. So this is a Blackhead carnivore. All my Blackheads end up with red and ringer in them. It's got the ringer gene in it, but I'm struggling to see the red, but I think purely because of how dark this animal is how dark it's come out. So this is a Blackhead carnivore. Let's have a look at the neck, see if he's got the neck. So he's got, oh, look at that belly. He's got the carnivore neck that goes all the way down to his bum. Wow, I'd never noticed that before. It's funny how sometimes you're familiar with an animal that obviously you can see this guy's well grown on now. I did get 2 blackheads out of this clutch. A friend of mine has got the other one. Before I realised what the carnivore was, before we completely sussed the gene out. So somebody else out there is a carnivore now. And there we are. So this is a Carnivore Blackhead. You can just about see the head stamp of the carnivore showing through. It's got the very messed up markings on the back, like a lot of the carnivore stuff has got. It's very reminiscent of what was on the side of the champagne carnivores and the lesser carnivore. Really nice boy. I love this fella. Can't wait to get him breeding. So the carnivore is officially into the blackhead now. Don't know how I could forget this guy. He's one of my favourites again. Early 2020 this guy hatched, so I reckon I'll have him breeding by next spring, hopefully. Put him into a carnivore or another blackhead, I don't know yet. But how dark is that animal? Absolutely love this guy. So there you are, Carnivore Blackhead. Ringer gene, probably red as well. I've not produced any blackheads from my line of blackhead that hasn't had both red and ringer in it. So this could be either the first one that has, or just because he's so black I just can't see the red. I'm sure that somebody with normal colour vision would come around and probably tell me that these bits are red on here. But as I'm colourblind and I don't have the corrective lenses just yet, I can't really say that he is red gene. So there you are, another nice new animal in my repertoire. I can't wait to get him breeding. Thanks for watching. Okay guys, so there it is, a couple of new genes, a couple of new exciting genes I'm really looking forward to working with. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you can see, my presenting skills are pretty crap. I've not been doing this very long, not very polished. Hopefully my presenting skills will improve in the future, who knows. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please all stay safe out there and look forward to doing some more.